Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 2025. It is July 18th of 2032, and we are 45 and 53. Um, we are 7 games under 500, and it is the All-Star break, which means we're running out of time. We are running out of time. Now, it is the midseason, so that means John Stanton has set out his halfway review of the goals. Thus far, we are severely underperforming. Severely underperforming. He does like that we have extended Hagen Smith, which is nice. Power hitter, probably not going to accomplish that, let's be honest. We have Danny Matthews, who we grew through our farm system, who is probably the best power hitter that we are going to get. Not on the free agent market, of course. Build your farm. This goal is a little subjective because they have Dave Moyer behind guys that are like, 3-star potential, 2.5 potential. So the farm system one, the prospect ranking list in general is just a little inaccurate, I should say. Yeah. I'm just a little dumbfounded because we are under 500 this late into the season, and we're looking at kind of selling in this trade deadline. But yes, as I mentioned, Dave Moyer is behind some 3-star guys. But let me just show you. This is the top prospect report. As we can see, we have some absolute cream of the crop guys at the top in the top 10, which is absolutely phenomenal. Good for those guys. Sorting it by teams, we can see Dave Moyer up there, number 46, having a great year in Double-A. He looks very nice, very, very nice. As you can see, we also have one other person that I saw, Chris Epp, another defensive wizard who has a great bat, putting up decent numbers in Double-A. Might be our shortstop in the future. We'll see how that goes. And I believe the last prospect that we have, yes, is Andy Davidson, who is ranked number 69. He is Double-A, a little low ranking in my opinion, especially when you have a few prospects, especially the pitchers, ahead of him. But yeah, so far they're doing nice. Our prospects, that is, which is good to see. I mean, I just want to show you guys how kind of flawed this system in general is. Like, this guy, he has, don't get me wrong, he has great, and I mean great batting projections, a great glove first baseman, but like, can we really say he is better than Dave Moyer or Andy Davidson? I don't think we can. I don't think that's fair. Like, I really don't think he is. It's partially my fault because I am playing on dynamic prospect rankings, which means the prospect rankings, they update day by day instead of when the reports come out. And I think it'd just be too late to change it this far into the series. So I'm going to leave it as that. But I think if it weren't on dynamic, we'd have a much better ranked farm system, that is for sure. But yeah, that is what our farm system looks like. As we can see here, looking at the top farm systems, we are number 23 with only 3 prospects. But speaking of prospects, let's go over the mid-season prospect recap. So getting things started with Chase Brunson, our former top prospect, having a breakout season in 2032, finally performing to what we expected him to perform to, putting up a 800 OPS with a 350 on base percentage and a 480 slug. Popped out 6 homers thus far, but that is not what he is here for. He has 10 doubles, 2 triples, 40 hits in total, and is doing quite nicely at the big league level. Speaking of big league level, Danny Matthews, the kind of late emergence. We just didn't expect him to emerge this fast. A prodigious power hitting guy, although in 40 games he only has 8 homers, but is still good on the pop side. He is going to pop out more eventually. He also plays great defense at third base, which is a plus. He is looking good at the big league level thus far. Jim Whitmore got off to a hot start, but has cooled off a little bit. He is still performing though, and looks to be a staple at the big leagues for us. Moving on to the triple A level, we have Edgar Ugalde, who was profiled at a high contact first baseman slash catcher, but in the minors, he is struggling a little bit, still hitting 260, which is quite good. But when you're only getting on base at a 300 clip, that is not good. He has walked 19 times and has struck out 52 times, which is a little unlike him because following his former league, minor league kind of levels, this is what he looked like, you know, about like a third of the time he would walk compared to strike out, which is a little uncharacteristic. His eye is like super down, which we do not like to see. But hopefully he can kind of adjust to the AAA level and, you know, kind of blossom into the big league hitter that we thought he would be. Now on to Double A. The number 69 prospect, Andy Davidson, started off in High A this year, did absolutely phenomenal, posted up an 11.2 strikeouts per 9 and a 1.27 ERA. Moving him up, what does he post? Nearly a 10 strikeouts per 9 with a 1.85 ERA. He is just waiting and waiting to get promoted to AAA and is most likely going to be a starter on the roster next year for us. Staying down in that level, Chris Epp, the number 97 prospect, the shortstop prospect. Decent hitting ratings, but a phenomenal glove. He is doing decently this season. It's mostly his glove that is carrying him, but he is hitting at a 257 clip and getting on base at a 240 or 340 clip. His OPS, I do wish will get up, or should get up there. Hopefully he can adjust to the Double A level and kind of move up to the AAA level fast. 3 top prospects in the Double A system, finishing it off with Dave Moyer, the number 46 prospect, our top ranked prospect in our system, doing quite phenomenal in Double A. In High A, he actually posted a 1 OPS with a near 600 slug. What does he do in Double A? 35 games, 316, 483, 570, 1.054. No biggie, right? No biggie. He is blossoming into quite the guy. Despite his ratings going down, I still think he is the hitter that we expect him to be. He looks so good, and I am so ready for him to be in the lineup. It is a little concerning though because, as we know, our top major league level outfield talent is a little clustered, which means we are most likely going to have to trade some people away, not named Dave Moyer. And it's going to be a tough process, but we have to make space for this guy, that is for sure. Brad Oster, the former top-ranked catcher in our system, has had a bounce-back year, especially in Double A. He is posting a 160 OPS plus with a near 1 OPS. You know, this Double A roster is actually pretty dang good with Chris Epp, Dave Moyer, Brad Oster, and Andy Davidson. Brad Oster, hopefully his power potential can be reached. He does look like a good guy, especially his catcher arm. If his defense can get a little bit better, he is going to be a good prospect. Going on to High A, we have Alfredo Esquilin, the former top prospect, still performing, you know, doing numbers in High A. Will most likely move up to Double A soon and bolster that roster. I mean, the Double A talent is just absolutely loaded for our system. One of our development roster-ees, I should say, Devin Hawkins, a ground ball pitcher, 99 mile per hour, throws gas, is doing decently in High A. He will most likely move up to the next level soon. Now on the last level, the A-ball level, Mike Hales, who is a horse, I should say. He can go deep into ball games. Is looking good in A-ball. If his kind of, you know, results can develop just a little bit more, I'm sure he'll be a nice guy, especially at the big league level. His partner in crime, Andy Hanna, also a horse. Those two pitchers in this level look absolutely phenomenal. They're looking good thus far. Like I said, if they can both just develop, they should be good pitchers and kind of cream of the crop in our system. Eric Holbrook as well, doing nicely in the A-ball level, putting up a 1 OPS. 400 on base percentage, and nearly a 600 slug. Corner outfield bat developing quite well. Lastly, I did forget to talk about Doyle Swires. He's going to be the last guy we talk about. A second round pick in 2028, putting up nice numbers in high A. His ratings, especially on the power side, have gone down, but he still looks nice on the contact side. But yes, that is it for the prospect recap. As we know, it is the All-Star break, so let's see who has made it for the Seattle Mariners. I am not surprised that we don't have any pitchers on here besides Munoz, who has snuck on here. Although Perez and Yermon, as you know, haven't been good, but Munoz is an all-star this late into his career. Good for him. Still putting up decent numbers. Probably going to be his last season as a Seattle Mariner, but he is doing nicely on his farewell tour over here. Another bat, or I guess the other bats in the all-star lineup, of course, Julio Rodriguez and Juan Soto putting up good seasons. Julio Rodriguez, as you know, coming off his second MVP award. He's looking for some money, folks. He is looking for some money. By the time he reaches free agency, he's going to be 34 years old. Around that time, I'm expecting his bat to kind of diminish a little bit and his outfield ratings. A little sneak peek. Yeah. So his glove is kind of carrying him, his ratings, I should say, but he is going down. So maybe we can get him for a little bit of a discount. I do want to say I kind of feel like we signed Soto to kind of a overpay, but nonetheless they are looking good. Next, let's go to the all-star lineups for the prospects. As you can see here, Andy Davidson on there, rightfully so, and Dave Moyer. So just two of them to the top prospects. They're doing good thus far, but that's kind of it. Next will be the trade deadline, and spoiler alert, we are probably going to sell. Our first time selling in this series, and if nothing happens, then yeah, it's gonna be a tough offseason, that's for sure. So it is August 3rd, 2032. We are 51 and 57, 6 games under 500, and 7 games out of the first place spot in the AL West division. 4 games back of a wildcard spot, and yeah, it's been a rough season for us, which means we had to sell at the deadline. But let's go over the July recap before we go over that. So in the month of July, we went 9 and 15, another losing month. Our batting, ratings around the same as last month. Still doing pretty good. It's just the pitching, which has tanked our season entirely. Absolutely tanked it. Bullpen ERA got better. Starter ERA got worse. But enough about that. We're probably gonna have a losing season. Maybe finish 500. I don't think we're gonna I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs. I really don't think so, unless our starters turn it around. Although it might be too late in the season to do that. But let's go over the pitching staff. Actually, before we go over the pitching staff, I think it would be much better to go over our trade acquisitions and what we gave up. Mostly because we gave up a lot, folks. We gave up a lot, and it's gonna break some people's hearts. So first things first, I released Josh Hader. Retiring after the season, development went backwards. He's, just aging and was putting up really bad numbers with us. So we released Josh Hader. All right, so the first trade that we did during the trade deadline was a package deal involving Anier Cerca, kind of a starting prospect, a ground ball type pitcher. Looks good thus far. Hopefully he develops well. We also got Andres Comas, probably going to use him as a reliever type of guy. He has 2 good pitchers and kind of reminds us of a little bit of Valenciunas, but his breaking stuff is just not good. He is a power pitcher though. Did good in 1 start thus far. But over the offseason, I am probably going to have to improve his pitch type, but he is in the deal as well. And lastly, K-Berg Graining. Graining tore his labrum, I think, a month ago, maybe 2, but he does profile as a extreme fly ball kind of guy, has gas, and looks to have a Cooperstown curveball if it develops well. Hopefully he can come back healthily and be that guy for us. In return, we gave up Jesus Guyton, kind of a minor league catcher who not that good. We also gave up Graham Pauley. I know this is gonna break a lot of Mariners fans' hearts. He's only 31 years old, but he struggled mightily this season, and I mean mightily. After that torn back muscle, it just doesn't seem like his swing was the same. So we decided to add him to the deal. Great with us. I believe he was worth nearly 8 WAR in just 2.5 seasons with us in the white and blue. Helped win a ring and also won a second ring on the bench. We will miss him dearly, Graham Pauley. And lastly in the deal, Osiris Yerman. We got him from the White Sox last year, and this time we traded him away. He was a no-brainer to trade away, We won a ring with him, but he was underperforming a little bit with us. A lot of blown saves, and a lot of value for him if we traded him away. He is also going to be 35 by the time he becomes a free agent, so I do fear his development and his aging is going to catch up to him, so he is going to be on the Brewers going forward. Now, in the next trade, we had hashed out a deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers, including 4 players for one of the 4 players being Ernesto Aregrin. He was a rookie ball catcher. He looks to profile pretty good arm, decent projections at the hitting, but he will be on the Dodgers going forward. We also gave up Daniel Cueva hitting nearly 300, doesn't walk too much, although it is very obvious that we were going to trade Cueva. His value was way too high. Use control for teams would have been very nice to look at as well. And let's be honest, we probably just weren't going to keep him. So Cueva will be on the Dodgers as well. Next, Cole Young. Man. How far we have come. Cole Young put up 23 WAR with us, a Gold Glove, 2 rings, and the World Series MVP of 2029, the Rookie of the Year winner as well. Going to the Dodgers. Now, this is a no-brainer as well. Like I said, we weren't going to bring him back. He's too inconsistent to bring back. And we decided to trade him. So, good luck to Cole Young. We will miss you. But good luck, man. And lastly, Brian Perez. Man, oh man. I heard some TV shatter when they heard this deal got announced. Brian Perez, reliever of the year in 2029, 2 rings with us, 4-time All-Star, 4 straight All-Star despite this season. And he's going to be in the Dodgers as well. A great guy, a great relief pitcher. Put him in the the save role for the first time this season, and the lights were too bright. It's not like he did bad though. He was having a good season for any other reliever. And he's going to be 32 by the time he becomes a free agent. Our priority is going to be to bring him back. It's probably going to be expensive, but he does look like a good pitcher still. Regardless, Brian Perez will be on the Dodgers. So you might be wondering, well, you gave up all of those guys for one guy? Who did you get? Well, a spoiler alert, our farm system has been bumped up to 15th in the league. And that is because we got Dan Brennan, currently the number 17 prospect, formerly with the Dodgers, now in the Seattle Mariners farm system. Not a good glove at second base, but I am having him play first base for the time being. I'm actually going to force start him at first base. But yes, we got Dan Brennan, the number 17 prospect. Him, Moyer, Davidson. I'm hoping they can transform this team. Although Brennan, it might take a little bit longer for him to come up. Potentially in the middle of the 2033 season or the 2034 season. Regardless, he is going to have a huge impact on our future. And I am very, very happy with the return of those legends that we gave up. with that being said, we could finally go over our pitching and lineup recap. And yeah, we are missing a lot of people. I tried to trade away Munoz as well, but he had that 10-5 veto. He loves us, so he just didn't want to go. But yes, he is leading the pack in the bullpen and doing nicely. Hagen Smith has had a good season thus far. Carson and Volchko is doing better as well. Yuji Suzuki just threw 8 scoreless against the Rangers yesterday. So good for him. We also brought up Cole Phillips, Hayden LeFew, and I believe that's it to replace the people that we have lost. Besides those guys, everyone else is still underperforming. Thomas Valenzuela has to get it going. So does Kyle Johnson. And yeah, we still have a chance to make the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, we do. But a lot of things need to go right. Now on the lineup side, pretty much everyone except for Paulie, Cueva, and Cole Young is still here, which means we had some people to move up. Edgar Ugalde got the call up to the big leagues, so good for him. He's going to be our starting first baseman going forward. Ivan Sosa came back up, and so did Cotter Coffee, just to fill in the bench spots, which means Brendan Serafini and Greg Zona will fill in the middle infield. Gold Glovers potentially over there with Danny Matthews, a good kind of infield defense. But yeah, Soto, Rodriguez, Matthews, Brunson, Neal, Whitmore are the guys who are doing well, the guys who have been carrying this team thus far, and hopefully they can keep going, maybe even make the playoffs. But yes, we've covered the trade deadline, and all that's left is to kind of finish the season. Although we still do have one more stop to make, and that is in September, so we will see you there. So it is September 3rd, 2032. We are 62-72, 9 games out of the AL West first place spot and 5.5 out of the wild card spot. And it kind of means that our season is over. Of course, we could go on a run, but I doubt it. Looking at the stats in August, we went 12-13, so a lot better. But in order to even have a chance at the playoffs, we need to lose like only 5 games. And it's probably not even possible. But as we can see here, offense is fine. They are firing in all facets. I mean, they're doing so good. They're the first in not striking out, which is amazing. Same story. Bullpen has gotten better. Starters have not. Yeah, that's kind of the story for the season. As we can see here, Cole Phillips in 10 2/3 innings has done nice at 1.69 ERA, striking out 11 batters per 9. Andres Munoz still doing good, riding the helms as the last member of that bullpen. Hagen Smith has had a good season thus far. Yuji Suzuki has broken out a little bit. LeFew has done decent numbers. Carson and Volchko need to get it going. I think they are going to be huge pieces going forward, especially in the bullpen. Valenzuela, Johnson, Bayo. I mean, Thomas Valenzuela. What happened, man? What happened? It's so sad to see. 3.63 ERA 2 years ago. Postseason legend. Helped us get our first ring. He was immaculate in that showing. And he kind of just fell off a cliff. Same thing with Kyle Johnson, although Kyle Johnson he's been injury prone, coming back from an injury. He is a reliever now. I gave the starting spot to Yuji Suzuki, so that could be why. But they need to get it going if they want to stick as starters or even in the bullpen. On the bat up side, surprise, surprise, Edgar Ugalde hitting 368, 407, doing phenomenal. From the first base spot, 70 contact, absolutely amazing. 1 WAR in 1 month, 165 OPS plus. This is a good showing from a young prospect, only 24 years old. We can always have him at catcher if we want somebody else to play first base because he's doing good thus far. Julio and Soto still doing nicely. Soto actually hit his 400th homer not too long ago. Julio, 32 homers yet again. Almost at 70 career WAR, and he's not even 32 years old. What a career. Jimmy Neal doing nicely. Danny Matthews, Chase Brunson, Jim Whitmore doing great. Eminent Thorne playing Gold Glove defense and having a good bat is crucial for this team. We claimed Mark Vientos because it is a September call-up, so we claimed him just to do that. But I These guys are usually bench bats, so we don't really care about them. But playing good defense though, so that is kind of what we value and what's important. Also, fun fact, if we look at the postseason career leaders, postseason leaders, Juan Soto leads in career postseason home runs. He actually accomplished it in the last postseason. Good for him, beating Manny Ramirez for the most all-time. It's kind of funny. He is an ALDS merchant. He performs so well in the ALDS. His 4 ALDS MVPs. It's so funny. But yeah, good for Soto. He is the all-time leader in playoff home runs. Well, we have one more thing to do, and that is to just sim to the end of the season and just see who makes the playoffs and who eventually wins the World Series, because I really don't have any hope that we are going to make it. So we'll see you there. It is October 4th, 2032, and the end of the season has come upon us. We have finished 73 and 89, our first losing season of the series. Little surprising, but yeah, our first losing season. The Angels and the Rangers fought it out for first place in this division. Even though we lost, we had a bunch of fun, mostly because we had a bunch of milestones. As I showed before, Julio did hit his 400 homer. Don't mind, he has plantar fasciitis right now. He did hit his 400th homer not too long ago, and he also hit his 2000th hit about a week ago. So kudos to Soto for having a great career. Speaking of career, I was rooting for this guy, trying to get 300 saves, and he got it. Andres Munoz with his 300th save this season. I extended him on a 2-year, $9 million contract each year. So he will be in our bullpen next year. And yeah, so we have finished the season under 500. The third worst team in the AL. Looking at the playoffs, we can see these are the teams that made it. Let's just sim ahead really fast and kind of see who wins. So here we go. Who will be the champs of 2032? Game 1 goes to the Braves. Game 2 goes to the Yankees. Off day. Game 3, the Braves take it. And the Braves take a 3-1 lead. 1 win away from having their first chips in 2021. And the Yankees will force a Game 6. So here we go, an off day. And the Braves win the 2032 World Series. With that being said, we will see you next time.